Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network.
Yes. And you know that it's Couch Pilots. Welcome, all of my friends, to the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, a.k.a. the Blackberry, a.k.a. Sweeter the Juice, a.k.a. O.J. the Simpsons. And across from me is Captain Philip Nicole Brown Simpson. How are you, Nicole? Oh, mercy.
That's my neck.
Protect your neck, as Wu-Tang always said.
Oh, hell yeah, protect your neck. How are you doing, my friend?
That's people say that shit to me all the time.
How you doing, my friend? Or
people say,
watch your neck.
Yeah. People are always coming at me with blades.
Shanking you, ready to shank you. Are you in prison? Like, are you out on like a work release program?
I spent a dime in the clink. Yeah, so what of it?
Orange is the new black.
But people always say to me, "Hello, all my friends."
Yeah.
What? Do I need to change it up?
People have stolen that from you, like to your face.
To my face, like before I am introed in some situations, they'll say that. I hear it on Low Blow. I don't know where else I've heard. Big
Donald
E
Trump.
Says to me.
Donald Trump said it that one day.
John McCain's always like, my fringe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hello, John McCain. You know, I think him and I both spent the same amount of time in a war camp. It doesn't mean that he gets to steal.
Right, and Bill Cosby did it that one time.
Yeah.
Hello, my friends.
Hello, friends.
Don't.
With the drugs and the rape and the pudding.
It's called a cut off.
It sounds like you were getting off while saying that.
Well, I know he didn't get off, but it was a hung jury, and then I was going to say something about a hung penis.
You're talking about yourself now.
Oh, yeah. It all comes back to me, baby.
What about
baby?
But back to me, baby. Do I need to change my phrase?
No,
though?
no. I don't think you should succumb to other people stealing your bit. You know, you keep your originator. Originator. You're the originator. I would not change it at all.
Okay, yeah. Time stamping will ultimately prove that I'm the OG.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. I started doing that on IBWIP. Coming back from breaks.
Yeah, I think you know what it does is it solidifies your legacy. You know what I mean? In the long run, you're like, who is that guy that said it? And all those copycats out there.
Yeah,
you'll be like, there's only one.
Yeah, I am the one, and someone else who is the one, and someone we haven't spoke about in a while, and it's because he hasn't taken a hiatus from work. He's taken a hiatus from extracurricular activities.
Sure. Being around us so much more.
That's right. To focus on things that are more important. Of course, we're talking about Don. Of course, we're talking about Don. Down syndrome John, also known as DSJ, the tarmac worker who waves those golden cones to get us up and ultimately bring us right back down.
He's been with us since like episode 2 or 3.
He's been around. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
As we know, he's had. I don't want to say tumultuous, right?
The past year has been
a whirlwind.
Yeah.
A roller coaster ride.
He disappeared.
Got married. He got
married,
another girl pregnant.
Got a different girl pregnant.
He was in a plane crash with Harrison Ford.
Yes. And his wife died.
Yes.
His mother was in a coma, but we took care of her and stuff.
She's on the mend.
And then about a month and a half ago, I guess the baby mama.
Yeah.
Had the baby.
Reemerged. And said, the baby's here.
Right. And so we've kind of been like hanging back, and we don't know, because we've talked about his life endlessly. And, he was just kind of like, hey, guys, let me get all my bearings straight with this kid.
So he went down to the Bering Strait.
Right. He went down. He took the kid down to the Bering Strait and put its head under the water, and just to see if it
would float.
Supernatural.
And he found out it wasn't a witch.
Right. And then he's like, that's my boy. So, So not too long ago, he asked if we ever fly to California, to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we've been there, obviously, because we've been movers and shakers with a lot of famous people. And
absolutely.
We have private airstrips that we can land on if need be.
Meetings, we meet with people.
Yeah, we do. We do some pitch meetings.
Mingle with the stars.
Some elevator pitches.
Sure.
We fuck some bitches and some elevators too. Am I right?
I like that very much. Very good.
Love fucking the girls.
So yeah, but he wanted to know if we go out to Hollywood, and the short answer is yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, why? And he said that he's been getting some calls, and there are some people interested in making a movie about his life. If you can believe that.
Honestly, I do believe it. All the adventures he's had, just in the short time that we've known him.
Right.
I would say absolutely there could be a movie made by this. And a couple weeks ago, he was actually bitten by a bug, and I think he believes that it was an acting bug that he was bitten by, but I think it was just like a horsefly.
Right. But now he thinks he's got like superpowers.
Yeah, and he thinks that he has this acting bug and these superpowers to become a Hollywood aficionado.
Right. So I said, hey, if you want, me and Jason will go with you as representatives for these meetings, because they could be taking him to the cleaners.
Yeah.
They could be taking his story and then not giving him a dime.
Taking advantage of him, really sending him up the river, and we know the system.
Right.
Right.
And I was like, well, who do you want to play you? I mean, do you want to act yourself, like you said, the acting bug? Or do you want like Sean Penn to play you?
Right.
Or
Role of a lifetime.
What was that TV show that one guy was in? Corky.
Life Goes On.
Corky Romano.
Yeah, you get Corky Romano to play him.
Right.
You guys want some cookies? The short answer to that is yes.
Yeah. So I said, I'll tell you what. I said, we'll go with you. We'll take you. We'll represent you. And we'll just see what these people are really offering. Because people think you can take advantage of him.
You need a writing credit, right?
Oh, definitely.
You need a producer credit.
Right, you need points on the back end.
Got to have those back end points, right? Got to get them.
Right.
So, I mean, you want a little bit of that merchandising? I know I do.
Oh, yeah.
You got a T-shirt that says DSJ Designer Shoe Warehouse. You bet I'm picking that up.
Damn right. So, I say we just, I said to go ahead and give us the number for the people, and we'll call and we'll act like we'll have our.
Kind of scout it out a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have the stewardess Molly call and act like our secretary,
right.
and we'll sound like big business.
Puff up our feathers a little bit.
Oh, right. I love puffing up my feathers. Yeah, so that's what's going on with him. I mean, he's learning to be a dad. He's learning how to change diapers and stuff. I don't know the baby mama whole issue.
Doesn't seem there's been like a lot of contact there.
No, there hasn't. I think she just one day she said there's no off switch and just dumped him off.
I don't know what kind of person thinks that there would be a switch on a baby. I would say, look to your own self. Do you see a switch on you? And the short answer to that is no, right?
The old bait and switch.
The old bait and switch off. So he's kind of, it seems like, although there's nothing legal to my knowledge set up, that he has sole custody of this child.
I think she's gone. I don't know. She disappeared.
I don't know either. The best of luck to her. Maybe we'll see her again someday. I don't know.
Wonder who'll play her in the movie.
Oh, maybe Sean Penn, right? Maybe that guy from Life Goes On, Corky.
Well, no, because I can't have the characters be the same kind of.
Oh, right. We said those two. Okay.
Right.
No.
So, like, let's see here. Janelle Zellweger.
Mm-hmm. Janelle Zellweger. That's right.
Possible. Lita Ford.
Lita Ford from The Runaways? Yeah, you bet. Well, she's not doing anything, right?
But yeah, she's probably getting up there. She probably doesn't even hold the guitar anymore.
Yeah.
Anybody else that you can think of? Who's the one that's married to Tom Cruise?
No one.
Well, who was married to Tom Cruise?
You got Nicole Kidman.
No, the black-haired little one.
The mousy girl. I like her. Katie Holmes. Yeah, maybe her. Sure. Yeah, why not, right? Yeah. Role of a lifetime.
It's going to be great.
That will be great. And something else.
Maybe they'll get it done, and maybe we can have a screening at CouchCon, like a premiere.
That's smart.
A premiere.
Yeah, we have to get rolling on that pretty quick though.
Right.
Because CouchCon is coming up in October here.
Right.
It'll be here before we know it. But something else I want to mention too, real quick, is I was talking to DSJ when I was in the pilot's lounge. Obviously, he's not allowed in, so I made him stand outside, and we talked through the doorway. And I said, DSJ, how's everything going? I did whatever. It's just I'm being pleasant.
Sure.
And he's like, he's really good. I want you or Captain Philip Restisher, one of the two of you, to be the godfather of the baby.
Wow, really?
And I said, Captain Restisher could do it.
You don't want to do it?
I got it. I have a very full schedule the way it is.
I can do it.
I'm gonna make you an offer.
I will be the best godfather to that baby you'll ever know.
Say hello to my little friend.
Literally, my little friend.
I'm fine with it. I think Molly would love to have, a little one running around the house.
I was also thinking, I do have a full schedule. And it's nice for you to say to Molly, hey, you know what? Maybe instead of having another kid, we have this godchild.
Right.
But maybe you and I can split the duties, hilarious duties.
Poop.
Where, like, it could be a my two dad situation, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can't count on me.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do it. I mean, are we going to set up some kind of frequent flyer trust fund?
Yeah, I think so. I
Put
think a percentage.
Put points away.
Put points on the back end for this child.
Yep. So when it graduates it can go to college
based on these points as previously discussed. That's right.
Airline school. I mean, we got that in at the Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe we can get a discount on the scholarship or something.
Sure. I don't see
Couch
why not.
Pilot scholarship.
Yeah. This kid is already he's got a leg up in the world if you ask
Get
me.
a leg up. Get a leg over, boy.
built on the back of his songs.
You know I ain't that handsome, but you know I ain't shy. It's actually Get Naked, but I always thought it was Get Leg Up.
In the my two dads scenario, are you?
I'm the one with the beard.
I was gonna say you're Paul Reiser or are you
You're Paul Reiser.
George Michael?
I'm George Michael. You'll be Paul Reiser.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Because I'm taller.
And I wish I was a little taller. So I mean, that's.
I wish I had a phone and a girl.
I'd call her.
I'd call her.
I'd call. You know what I love to do is call some fan feedback. Segue.
Oh, good segue, man.
Nailed it.
You're the king. Yeah, we got some fan feedback. First one is from our Twitter, which is at CouchPilotsPod. Don't forget to use hashtag Toad Awareness.
Oh, please. My toad is... I'm not Dr. Frankenstein over here, okay, guys? Toad's
Right.
dead forever. I like to make people aware of it. Oops.
Ooh. This is from Adam Z from Lobo Podcast.
Oh, love Adam Z.
At CouchPilotsPod, yes. Hashtag buttpuff. Going back to Ghost Rider, where Jeff was talking about butt puffing.
Yeah, hilarious.
And it's a cigarette reference.
And there's Adam Z. He is a smoker.
I think he's a toker.
But is he a midnight guy?
I think he stays up really late. He's got a job now, so I don't think he stays up too late.
Like smoking, snorting, sniffing, token?
Smoking in Adam's room. I tell you, Dave was smoking a rod in Adam's room.
A gay reference.
Yeah.
Adam, you know what the Z stands for in Adam?
Yeah.
Me too. That's it.
I can't pronounce it.
I thought it was just Z.
No.
Is it A-D-A-M or A-T?
A-T-A-M. A-T-O-M.
Right. Now, is that a nom de plume or is that his real name?
That's a nom de plume.
Nice.
I had a nom de plume once.
What was that?
Doctor gave me some cream for it. All right. So thank you for that, butt puff. Let's see here.
Adam Z doesn't need it, but he's getting some frequent flyer.
Yeah, he doesn't need any. This is from our Instagram on couch_pilots_pod.
Instagram.
Huh?
Instagram.
We grammed Instagram, but we always put out show art for every episode. And this was from the King of the Building.
Yeah.
And Lori Garcia.
Love the first lady of Couch Pilots.
First lady of Couch Pilots, she says, Richard Lewis, he killed himself about 10 years ago, right? ?
No, he's alive. He's alive. I wouldn't say well, but his body is functioning.
Okay. Well, I just thought I'd check on.
He looks like a living corpse.
He does. Dustin personally texted you and I and said, she was a whore, LOL. Laughy face, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. I'm driving home and lost it on that one. And you wrote, she's the best. And I put, she needs her own show. In reference to when my mom was on.
We called your mom on the telephone, and she said, I remember your old girlfriend from high school. She was a whore. What did she base that from? Just the fact that you fucked a girl?
Because I had sex. Does
that make her a whore?
Does it make who a whore?
She was calling your old girlfriend a whore, but how did she know she was a whore?
Somebody was trying to fuck her son. What do you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
that's fair.
That's what we got. Some no voicemails.
Hey, you know what? Voicemail. Who needs them?
I need them.
I do. Like
they are the best
much.
part of the show, I think.
The best part of this show. The show doesn't have that. The show sucks. If you're listening to the show, you can go and skip it right now.
Right.
We already got the download, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So fuck it.
It's a numbers game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
In a plane, in the sky, television shows. We'll tell you why. One and done is all you get. Don't you wish we never met? That's what this show's about.
A little negative, but I liked it.
No, that's not. The silver lining.
That we never met?
No. I guess
Do you
that
not
was
wish
all
that we
negative.
never met, or the listeners never met us?
Oh, the listeners are probably like...
Because there's not that many listeners that have listened to the show to say that they've met us.
Why do you bring that up all the time?
I'm bringing it up until it gets better.
I don't know if that's the way to do it, though. Is that the way to do it?
Is it to just act like don't even mention it?
No.
What's the best way to handle this situation?
You gotta read the book, The Secret. You know what The Secret is?
What's the secret?
The secret is that you think it into existence.
We got more downloads than we've ever had in our lives.
All right, well, that'll do it. So think about it, right?
Think about it. Think about it.
That's right. Think about it, and it'll happen. Don't be a negative Nancy. You know, why would you ever name your daughter Nancy if people say negative Nancy? What's a good adjective to put with Nancy?
Naked Nancy.
Oh boy,
Neurotic Nancy.
not so great.
Nympho Nancy.
On the right track.
Inebriated Nancy.
Yeah, that works. Today we discussed the pilot episode of Not Another High School Show from the year of our Lord 2007.
Ooh.
Great year.
I loved 2007. I'll tell you that much.
Why is that?
It was a great year for the Roses.
Now, what does that mean?
When I say great year for the Roses or good year for the Roses, what I'm usually saying is this year stuck out in my mind as something good. Something good.
So,
That's just a label that I put on it.
I see. And anything notable in your mind stuck out to where you're like, yes, this is a good year for the Roses, as you say.
I had Poontang to the left of me.
What about to the right?
I had Poontang to the right of me.
Nice. You're going to want to high-five that shit.
Let's see, it was 2007. What was going on? 10 years ago.
Donald Trump was just born.
Right. I was, I know. About 10 years ago, I started IBWIP. It was in 2007.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
it was a good year for the Roses.
Yeah.
This was before my second divorce.
Right.
So.
What inspired you to start the show? What did you say? And here I am in 2007. Great year. I'm going to start a podcast, something no one's ever heard of before.
Right. My love of music, I wanted to share it with the masses and get more people to listen to the kind of music I was listening to. That ended up backfiring on me because then people started listening to it, and then people started doing the same kind of show.
Yeah.
So I had to change it around. But, had my PlayStation 2 headphone microphone.
That's right, yeah.
And that's how I was doing the show. It was a lot like it is now where I go, and then, as I was saying,
You got your 10,000 hours in, though, right?
yeah, definitely.
You're good. You're good to go. I think we're good to go back in time. 2007. Ooh. What happened in 2007? What are some notable things that we can latch onto to propel our brains to that time period so ultimately we can fairly and properly judge Not Another High School Show?
Right. We cannot rate it based on 2017. We have to go back, and you're going to give us some info about what life was like back then.
That's exactly right. Rupert Murdoch acquires Dow Jones and Company, which includes the Wall Street Journal. I don't understand most of those words.
Rupert Murdoch. I thought he was an actor, but I guess he was like a mogul.
He's a mogul. Now, mogul is close to Mogwai, isn't it? And that was the
Mashira.
Now, is that a professional wrestler from Japan?
Could be. I don't know.
What do you know about the Dow Jones? It could almost be a jewelry company.
Sure. No, it's something that every day a buzzer sounds.
Yep.
And people yell and scream at each other and trade stuff.
And they all wear
and they
jackets.
have heart attacks because their life is so stressful.
You think there's heart attack statistics on the Dow Jones floor? Like how many heart attacks happen, say in a month's time period?
Oh, 3.
Oh, you know the stats.
Oh, yes, 3.
So are you a Dow Jones floor stat aficionado?
I've dabbled in the black arts of the Dow Jones.
People say that...
I did some buying. I did some trading.
Yeah.
I did some splitting.
Oh, you split stocks. You
yeah.
personally split them with your own 2 hands.
Mm-hmm. And then I was into penny stocks for a while.
Okay.
Because those are the ones I could afford.
Sure.
I made about $15 or $20 on those penny stocks.
You know what? If you walked in there with a handful of pennies, you're doing pretty damn well.
Yep. So I got my picture taken with the bull.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that right there on Wall Street.
He's got big nuts.
These nuts.
People say Blake Clayton is like an onion
This is a picture of me like this,
with your tongue out.
licking the nuts.
Yeah, I
Represented my life in 2007.
I don't. Every week I find out something new about you, and this week is that
I put my nuts on. I put my tongue on the nuts.
you went nut to nut with the Dow Jones bull.
That ain't no bull.
The bridge over the Mississippi River on I-35 West collapses, with cars dropping 50 feet into the river due to quick responses by emergency services. Only 13 people lost their lives.
Only 13 people.
I read that too, and I was like, don't say only.
Right.
Those people have families.
Don't put that. Just put 13 people lost their lives.
I was going to comment the same thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Not only, right?
Because it doesn't say 1,000 people were rescued.
Yeah.
Only 13 died. But there's no number at the front of that. So it's just like, it's bridge collapsed.
Yeah, it's cool. Only 13.
Only 13 died.
They lost 13. That is terrifying. Can you imagine falling 50 feet
into ice cold water?
Fuck that. I mean, you probably just are smashed. You become goo.
That's true.
In the car after
the impact.
Good
It looked like a belly flop with a car.
Ugh. I remember that though, because there was so much attention put on bridges and structures after that. I think people started dumping money into like bridges and structures, Department of Transportation unit to go around and test all these bridges as a result.
Makes sense.
I don't know. The Mitchell Report is published, which shows the use of anabolic steroids and human growth hormones is widespread in Major League Baseball.
Of course. Of course it was. They were using cocaine in the 70s.
Yep.
They were doing barbiturates in the 60s, uppers and downers, you know?
Barbiturates.
Yeah. So, big deal. Who cares? This has all gone on. This all went on way too long. Like Jose, about the same time Jose Canseco was like blowing the whistle on people
Right.
that he's like, I put a needle in that guy's ass. Like, Mark McGwire. Who the fuck cares? I saw some of the most massive home runs ever by man.
That's right.
When you see Barry Bonds, who was a scrawny black guy, and then about 6 years later, his head was the size of like the Mets.
Mr. Met?
Yeah, Mr. Met. His head was that size, and they were him and Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Rafael Palmeiro. These guys are just ripping
Jacked.
this. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a rat's ass?
It's for our entertainment, right?
Would you rather listen? Okay, this is the way I look at it.
Okay.
I don't care if baseball players are using steroids. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't give a shit.
Because I'm entertained. What you need to be more concerned with is NFL players fucking dying or fucking going crazy and killing people because of all these head injuries.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. If you're sticking a needle in your butt and it makes your dick small and makes your head humongous, but you hit a 500-foot home run, thank you.
Thank you.
But if you fucking run into some guy over and over and over and you're fucking...
Your brain turns into a damaged plum.
Right. Then that's important.
Yeah. I do want to say that barbiturates sounds like an obituary for a barber.
I like my drugs the old-fashioned way. Barbiturates.
2007.
I'm there.
Yeah. I'm there. I'm ready to take this pilot in. I was 26 years old. Just a pup.
I was 32.
Yeah, that's right.
I was not a pup anymore.
No pups.
Second marriage. Had a 2-year-old.
How are you so advanced? You're 42 right now. Mm-hmm. You're on your third marriage.
Yeah.
I'm 35 right now, and I have no marriages.
Because you're smart.
I don't know if that's right.
You have willpower. You don't care if you're alone.
Do I have lady willpower?
Oh no, because if there's a naked lady in front of you, you're fucking it. So you don't have willpower.
Whoa! I don't know who's listening.
I'm
to
saying, I'm saying, relationship wise, you're smart. You know that more times than not, it's not going to work. So why put yourself through it?
Just go on the back, right?
Back end, yeah, the back end points.
Why do we choose to watch not another high school show?
3 simple criteria. First, it had to be a pilot that never went to series. Only one was made. Whether it was aired or not is irrelevant. Number 2, we had to find it on the internet. We had to be able to watch this. And 3, it had to be free because we are very poor. This podcast costs monies, and we don't have the funds to be, purchasing these pilots to watch them.
The money that we put into this show, we get back through fan feedback,
Right?
Emotionally,
Friendships, time together, sex,
Zex, Charlie XCX,
XCX.
Where can you find the show to watch it for yourself? That's what people ask me the most. They say, how did you come with what to do tube? How did you come up with that? And I say, I don't care. I'm not going to tell you. Right?
I'm not going to give you my secrets, creative secrets.
What's a classically blue link? How do you galvanize that? I say, I'm not telling you anything.
Listen to the show. If you want to hear how these things happen, listen to the show. Go back and listens to episodes.
And then they pull up my apron, my kerchief, and they say, hey, but at least please tell me.
Please, sir, please tell me how to watch these pilots.
I said you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots on iTunes or your favorite podcast app of your choice, of your choosing. I personally, I use iTunes, but there is a plethora, a cornucopia of apps ready to service you with all the fine podcasts out there.
Now, you don't use iTunes anymore. You use Apple Podcasts.
Is that different?
That's the way you're supposed to say it now.
Okay, well, that's what I use.
I use Podcast Addict. There's Stitcher. There's Google Play. There's iHeartRadio. There's all kinds of different
There's so many
apps.
different kinds. And then once you do that, once you subscribe, you simply click on our show notes and click on one of the classically blue links that reside there. Mm-hmm. Or you can go to YouTube. And you know what to do, Tube.
That is awesome, man. We got to get shirts made.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Here we go. DSJ with his kid in the papoose. We're going to be joining godparents.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
I think we got this. I'm looking forward to it. Where do you want to take him first on a vacation?
Oh, boy.
Grand Canyon?
Greg Canyon.
Great Canyon?
Yeah.
Oh, down the street?
Yeah.
That's a good bar.
Summary of the pilot. A parody of popular teen dramas such as Beverly Hills 90210, Dawson's Creek, and Laguna Beach. Have you seen any of those?
I used to love Dawson's Creek. I used to be a big fan of Dawson's Creek.
I don't understand you.
Dawson's Creek got me a lot of poontang, too.
Okay, I'm back on track now.
Right. So, there was a time in my life that Dawson's Creek was very vital into my sexual pleasures.
So you're dating some dumb broad, and she's like, I love Dawson's Creek. And you're like, I am the same way in loving that show. Let's watch it together. And she's like, oh, it's so sweet.
She didn't have a frontal lisp.
I don't know about that. None out of the over 100 women had a frontal lisp. I can't buy that for a second. Surely one of them did. But yeah, that's, a friend of mine who will remain nameless, he would say, hey, you're a dumb lady. You probably want to watch the movie Inception, right? And she's like, I am dumb and I will watch it. And then the movie's so confusing that the girl is just, she succumbs to the sexuality of the situation because she can't follow the movie.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
That was his jam, and it worked for him.
Wow.
And Dawson's Creek worked for you.
Yeah.
You made Dawson's Creek work for you.
Don't ask what you can do for Dawson's Creek, but it's what Dawson's Creek can do for you.
Yeah, I remember when JFK said that. I watched a couple episodes of that. I don't like that fucking show.
Like the blonde girl was cute, little pudgy blonde girl. She was adorable.
Michelle Williams. Mm-hmm. She is awesome.
Yeah, she's smoking. One girl said I used to look like one of the guys, Pacey.
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, he said at one time I looked like Joshua Jackson.
Aw. Do you think you still look like him?
Oh, no. I got it in the pants, though.
You're Jackson in the pants.
My Jackson was dancing in my pants.
Laguna Beach, you ever watch that fucking shit?
No.
I never
That
seen
was,
it.
no.
I did used to watch Beverly Hills 90210. Maybe like the first, I think maybe 2 seasons. As a kid, I was like, I don't understand any of this.
No.
Oh, all right.
Not my jam.
Interesting facts.
That was the summary? That was all the summary was?
Yeah.
It was not a very good summary. Because, in my opinion, it mentioned maybe one of those 3 that it really mirrored more.
That's fine.
It's lackluster.
You're allowed to comment.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to
do.
do. I'm supposed to comment on the summary. It says right here on this piece of paper, Blake, comment on summary.
I was going through the different shows and getting your opinion. I feel like we dived pretty deep into Dawson's Creek, pun intended. Interesting facts.
How deep?
What's that?
How deep?
Balls.
No, say how deep.
How deep?
So deep, put an ass to sleep. It's not as cool when a white guy says it.
Now, okay, so I'm a man of moderate genitalia. If you have a penis so large and you insert it into someone's ass, can you put them to sleep? Is there like some sort of trigger or nerve ending in there
there's a nerve ending back there.
It puts them right to sleep?
Yep.
Wow.
That and some chloroform.
Without the proper tools or toys, if you will, I will probably never know that. Anyway, interesting facts, of course, is a section.
Conrad rule. The Conrad rule is in effect for the remainder of the next 5 minutes.
Conrad,
Great friend of the show.
a great friend of the show.
So much that he had a rule named after him.
But it was almost in jest, because he violated the rule, which was unnamed at the time, so often, so callously, so frequently, that we had to name the rule ultimately after him. Like I think we've discussed before, like the Amber Alert, right?
Right.
He is the Amber Alert of Couch Pilots.
Of interesting facts. Jason is going to tell you some facts to put just to kind of
to put you to sleep.
to
I'm going to insert these facts so deep they're going to put you to sleep.
But it's not for you to judge if they're interesting or not. You can think that in your own mind, but don't look at somebody or write on our Facebook or write on our Twitter about how, this fact was interesting.
Can you do those things? Sure, but don't you dare.
Right, you can do it. We can't stop you from doing anything. If you're not in the air, we don't have any. What's the jurisdiction? We don't have any. If you're not in the air, we can't stop you from doing it. Are you an asshole for doing it?
Big time. You're a big gaping asshole that can be put to sleep if inserted inside of properly. Teen Wolf.
You're all about that.
I really like that quite a bit. I mean, the mysteries of the body, right?
Yeah.
Teen Wolf, 1985. Okay?
Yep.
That movie came out in 1985.
Michael J. Fox, before he shook.
He was shaking, as Eddie Money said. Parodied by this show.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Muffy is sent by Jeeves to kill the Teen Wolf.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Muffy, though. She's called Muffy in
Right.
the show. And then proceeds to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer from 1997, a TV series, and the movie a few years ago, starring Beverly Hills 90210's very own Luke Perry, right? With the girl, I don't remember her name. And there's a character named Muffy who kills vampires, demons, and werewolves. Dawson's Creek is parodied from 1998, the show that you had sex with.
Dazed and
Two.
Confused.
It's not listed here. Well, I know what you mean, and it should be.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, it should be. There's a character named Lawson. I don't know.
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. Release date, 21 of September from the year of our Lord, 2007.
Middle of the summer.
September 21?
Oh, September. I thought you said...
Almost kicking off the fall season. Maybe there's a lot of high hopes behind this. I don't know. Filmed in Los Angeles, California. It's a state fact. Made for Comedy Central.
Oh, okay.
Fact.
Okay, that's a fact.
Interesting facts. Over.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I do appreciate you taking the time because I know you scour and you dig and you scrub to find that stuff. It's a shame that we can't comment on them. You put so much work into it. It's a shame we can't comment.
You can comment on the amount of work I put into it.
You put a lot of work
Thank
into
you.
it. I appreciate it.
Next section of the show is called Twitter Responses.
Twitter responses. Did Jason get any Twitter responses?
Absolutely not. Drunken Lullabies.
Hi, this is the voice from Drunken Lullabies. Do you like craft beer, indie music, pop culture, pro wrestling, and pure juvenile hijinks? Then you will love Drunken Lullabies on the FCF network. We have new episodes every Sunday, so you can spend the Sabbath getting drunk with us. So join me and my co-host Beer Mansky and our rotating cast of characters as we drink amazing beer, listen to bands we think you need to know, and laugh our asses off. Like Elvis said, 10,000 drunken maniacs can't be wrong. Check us out on all podcast platforms and at fcfnetwork.com. May your music be loud and your beers be cold.
Once again, cause we find ourselves in the same old bits, singing Drunken Love.
The man has a golden voice.
He does.
A golden voice that has propelled him to the highest ranks of podcasting.
He's charmed a nation. He's the nation is a snake. Don't tread on me. Okay? Don't you dare tread on me.
Right.
And he is the snake charmer.
Oh, yes.
Right?
That voice has probably soothed many of voices as they fall asleep in the evenings.
So he's, I was going to say probably soothe some ladies, too.
Well, yeah, but
Right?
out of respect for Freckles, I didn't want to say something
His
like that.
voice is your Dawson's Creek.
Yep, you're right.
I'd sleep with him.
You would? His beard is too scratchy.
I like that. I like pain. Drunken Lullabies, every Sunday. You like craft beer? Yes, you do. You like independent music? You like that?
You like jokes?
Yeah.
Like wrestling?
Yeah, you like all those things.
Yeah.
You like Beer Mansky? He's not really on the show anymore.
Nah.
But he's around every once in a
His
while.
wife says, no, too much time.
Too much tuna.
Too much tuna.
I love Beer Mansky. I wish he was on the show more, but you know what? He's got things that he's going to do, and he's got things he's got to take care of, but he comes on the show every once in a while. But don't worry, because Dustin always did all the work anyway.
Right. And also, Dustin is putting out some bonus episodes, I think, bi-weekly, where it's called Drunk at the Movies, where
Oh, my God, yes.
he gets with some friends, and they get drunk, and they watch a movie. So
You ever sneak booze into a theater?
I was with people that snuck booze in. I think hippies snuck a bunch of booze into Star Wars. And I was sitting next to
that's
him.
right. I was there.
But yeah, I never snuck alcohol into.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was some of that like Bourbon County shit.
Oh, yeah,
it was like real heavy and like high alcohol content. Recently, I saw the movie It Comes at Night. You ever see that movie? It is all right. It's a horror film.
Oh, was it a horror film? Was it the one by the Key and Peele guy?
No, that was called Get Out.
Oh.
I happened to see that one too, though. So I see It Comes at Night, and I'm with a lady, and we sneak in like a ton of food.
Really?
It was fantastic. I love sneaking in entire meals into movie theaters.
Because like sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
Really, the only person that you're hurting there. It's not Hollywood. It's not Tom Cruise or whoever's on the screen. The person you're fucking is that movie theater, because the movie theater only makes money on concessions. That's what keeps that building going.
I know you used to work at a movie theater. That one specifically that I snuck it into. So I know you understand that portion of it, and you have a soft spot in your heart for it. And soft maybe because it's cancerous. But I will also say, ask me if I give a shit.
Do you give a shit?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'll give it some fucking burritos for $1 versus $10.
Well, it's one of those things like if you continue to fuck over that movie theater, you're gonna have to go watch a movie at Landmark.
I'm not going to Landmark.
Or Westlake.
No, please don't make me.
That's what's going to happen.
Westlake hasn't been there in like
no,
10
not Westlake.
years.
Willow-Knowles. Willow-Knowles is what I
I
meant.
get stabbed there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I will start spending $11 for a thing of nachos.
I used to have to count every single popcorn bag every night, and every cup.
I don't get it. Anyway, not another high school show. Let's break down the pilot. All right, let's see what happened through the duration of this 22-minute roller coaster ride. I will say this: they jam a ton in.
Sure,
It's a constant barrage of activity.
Multiple shots over and over and over again.
All these different storylines, kind of running parallel routes. Not all of them necessarily converging. A lot of shit going on. This is SpongeBob SquarePants for adults.
Right.
You know, SpongeBob says to a kid, "Hey, you're a stupid little kid, and you need constant activity. We're going to give it to you. This is for adults."
Right. At the opening scene, it's in an alleyway. There's a big wall, and graffiti on the wall. It says,
Bad
neighborhood.
High five it.
And there's a yellow car. And there's these two guys talking, and this one guy is like, "We're gonna break into this car." And he takes a crowbar and he just starts banging it up against the door of the car, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't dent or anything.
The other guy's like, "Hey, why don't you try the window?"
And he crashes it, opens it up, and ends up getting in the car, hot wiring it, and he's like, "Come on, man!" He's like, "No," and all of a sudden the car blows up.
You find out this the guy who blows up is the older brother. His name is Mason Adkins, I believe.
Let's close the book on Mason Adkins.
Oh, please, let's do it now. And then his younger brother saw him blow up in there, and they kept saying things like, "I don't give a crap." Like they were very meta in them saying, "We're bad kids, we're bad boys, we come from the wrong side of the tracks, we don't give a crap." I think he even had tattooed on his arm, "I don't give a crap,"
or something like that.
Yeah. So it blows up, and his brother Mason, let's close the book on him, is burnt alive, and he's dead.
Right, and so the little brother is then in jail.
Yeah.
He's actually in Jump Street Station. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a jump instead of 21 Jump Street, it was Jump Street Station.
He's in jail, and he's talking to a lawyer, and then the lawyer kind of lets it out. He's like, "Oh, your mom is dead too." Right? And
well, at first he's like, your brother's fine. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
he's not. He's like, oh, wait, it's the wrong file. So he was looking at the wrong file. And then he says, oh, yeah, looks here like your mom's dead too. And now you have no family, so you can come home with me.
Yeah.
It was just...
And the lawyer's like, "I take young boys home with me all the time."
Yeah, I was just ready to hit that one.
There's a few times in this pilot where I really feel like they cross a line. This is not the worst of it by any means, but it is getting into kind of a dark territory for something that is supposed to be so light and stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then so he takes the boy home, and they live in La Playa Creek Beach Hills.
So all the names have all meshed up.
All these shitty like faux reality shows and teen dramas. They're picking words from it almost on purpose that they are opposites or are conflicting with each other and put it into this one suburb that they live in.
Right. The lawyer takes the kid into the kitchen and is like, tells his wife, he's like, look what I brought home. And
here's a good example of crossing the line.
right, she pulls a knife and a knife on the kid, and the lawyer's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And she's like, you know what happened the last time? He tried to rape me.
Tried to rape me.
And the lawyer says something like,
It's like someone might get a little raped every once in a while.
right. That was
There's your line.
There was a line.
We're 10 seconds into this thing, and they were talking about the being very okay with being raped.
So then the lawyer takes the kid upstairs
before they get up there, though, they kind of introduce what's happening upstairs. You don't know that it's upstairs, and it's a very Dawson's Creek kind of feel.
Oh, the room is just like Dawson's Creek, and it's Logan.
Oh, okay, that wasn't Lawson. His name was Logan.
I think it was Logan or Lawson.
And it's playing on Dawson's Creek for sure. You've got this cute little girl in the bed, and she's kind of into the dude. The dude's kind of clueless. There's movie stuff everywhere. A big focus on Hugh Jackman for some reason.
There's actually a very good drawing of
him as Wolverine.
Him as Wolverine.
And the kid is pretty clearly gay.
Yeah, and like she's like, let's make out or whatever, and he's like, yeah, let's have a tickle fight instead of sex.
This girl gets in her underwear in a minute, and I'm going to say this. I'm just going to do it right now. I don't know what you're about to say. I don't know your thoughts on this. We don't talk about it beforehand. This is getting a skinny, broad underwear bump from me.
Oh, definitely.
I see this, and I am straight milk boning, okay?
I can see why.
Why is that?
I can just see why.
You know this is my type of girl? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Very much so.
Does she look like someone that I know?
I actually thought about it when it happened. All
right, fair enough.
So, and he's got all this I Love Hugh and Hugh Jackman stuff all over, and he pushes the girl up like off of him.
Yeah.
Because she wants to have sex. She's, and she gets thrown out the window, or goes down the ladder or something.
Yeah.
She goes down the ladder, like he's like pushing her out the door, and she falls out the window. I
have a quick update. I'm going to interrupt the flow.
Oh my God!
This is breaking news on Twitter, mentioned by Kevin Clark from the Let's Try This podcast at CouchPilotsPod. Twitter responses: #I'm all in for toad awareness.
All right.
So Kevin Clark, thank you so much for that. We appreciate your support of
love the Clarks.
I love them. They're great. Each Clark better than the last.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I took some photos of Kevin and Steph when they were here, and Gus.
Hey, you send me the ones of Kevin?
Yeah, I'll send
you
ones
thanks.
of Kevin. Actually, unfortunately, Kevin's face you can't see because of the microphone things. But anyway, those pictures, the way Steph has her glasses on and everything, I have a picture of my mom from like when she was like 20.
Yeah.
They look exactly alike.
Oh, wow. I would love to see that side by side.
My mom's maiden name is Clark.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, my mom's maiden name is Clark, and my middle name is Clark. I think I might be related to Kevin.
Is this some sort of Australian 7-day time warp scenario?
Let's do time warp again. All right, so the girl falls out going down the ladder.
The lawyer comes up with the boy. What's his name? The Adkins boy.
I don't remember what it was.
He brings him up there and says, "Hey, this is a guy I brought home. He doesn't have a family." And
Brian. It's Brian.
And then Logan or Lawson is excited to see him because like, here's a guy I could put his genitals into my mouth.
Exactly. He's like, you can have the top bunk, and he's like, you don't have bunk beds. He goes, I'll be on top.
Kind of freaks Brian out. He goes out of the house, and next door you've got a girl walking out named Melissa. She's exiting a mansion, and she's followed quickly by her stepmom, who I think is exactly a few months older than her.
Right.
And but she's her stepmom, and her dad is like making out with this girl. So this is like a trophy wife that's still in high school, and they're in a kind of a weird situation.
And he goes to kiss her and grabs her butt.
He does grab her ass, yeah.
I mean, grabs it like perfectly grabs it. Like, good job, old man.
That's experience.
So Melissa and Brian are each at the end of their driveways, and they start both smoking cigarettes, and they just keep saying hey to each other. Like, hey.
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 Hey. Hey. Meaning, and what this is representing is just how boring and generic the dialogue is on these shows.
Absolutely. So they're out there at night, smoking the cigarettes, haying the shit out of each other, and then you got a super sported out Hummer shows up. It's a guy named Sean. He's a typical jockey, douchebag kind of guy.
Very much so,
and
big douchebag.
He picks up Melissa.
He's a bro. I call those guys bros.
I actually kind of like this character because he's always like making fun of Melissa. He's always like giving her shit.
Oh, insulting her.
This plays perfectly into the stereotype of young girls are so fucking stupid that if they're treated like shit, they're going to come running. They will run at full speed to the guy that treats them like garbage. And that's exactly what's happening here. So he kind of cracked me up. All the insults, and he like she's a very attractive girl, but he kept calling her like fat and a cow and like just shit and stuff.
Yeah, and then he gets in the car. She gets in the Hummer, and he's like staring, and she's like, "What are you staring at?" And he's like, "Your mom. She's hot."
She is. She's only a few months older than him.
Right. And he drives away, and he has a smaller Hummer attached to the Hummer.
I don't know if I noticed that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Next at school, it's a completely different scenario. You're in like a library-looking situation, and this is your parody of Buffy the Vampire
Right.
Slayer.
It looked like a Catholic school, kind of.
You got Muffy, which is the Buffy character, played by Alison Brie of Community, Mad Men, and now on Netflix Glow fame. Right? Mm-hmm. So she's there, and she's being told that there is something hairy and terrifying at school, and Muffy keeps thinking it's her
vagina,
her hairy fucking pussy. Yeah.
There's a lot of puns on that. It was good. It was good.
She even says my vag at one point. But that's not what the guy's talking about. She's talking to a guy who's like I don't know if it's Niles or Giles character, the wise British seer or whatever he is, the kind of mentor to Muffy. He's telling her these things, and basically, they're saying there's a teen wolf out there and he's a problem, and she's got to go capture it.
Right.
This is one of those storylines that doesn't add up to anything. It runs parallel to everything else. It's filler. Right.
It's filler. It's recognizable. Everybody recognizes what Michael J. Fox looked like in Teen Wolf.
Right.
And everybody, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Everybody. So that'll just help you smooth along the way.
Yeah. The next scene, you're in school. Melissa from the previous scene outside saying hey before being picked up by Sean is at her locker, and she's confronted at her locker by her stepmother, and she says you're grounded or whatever, and she's kind of giving her some shit, and their friend's like, hey, why don't you cheer up, and gives her a giant dildo.
Oh yeah, I put that on here. It was a Princess Twinkle vibrator, and like I was like, whoa, because when she whipped it out, I was like, oh, that's a vibrator, and it wasn't just a regular one. It was like one that goes and moves around and stuff.
Yeah, it was a very active dildo, one that you'd have to put a king's ransom worth of D batteries into. So while this is going on, in the background, you got Muffy the Vampire Slayer. She sees a
janitor,
Archer's own, Bob's Burgers own, can of vegetables from Wet Hot American Summer's own, H. John Benjamin as a janitor. And he's like, this guy might be my favorite character too, because there's some hot girl that walks by, and he's like checking her out, and she's a high school student,
right?
And then Muffy sees him and thinks he's Teen Wolf. And she's like hits him and then starts stabbing him to death. And then he's like asking her like what her name is or something.
Right, he
He's
was
like,
still hitting on her.
Trying to hit on her.
Then next thing,
He says, "What's your name, Sweet Tits?"
Sweet Tits. And then they shows the girl that was that fell out of the window. She's got a ladder in her backpack.
She takes it with her wherever she goes.
So ladder girl is there, and then the janitor gets killed in the background. I'm sorry.
And then you kind of see Brian walk by, and then there's more exposition about how there's no real school. They just kind of hang out there. And then you walk by Melissa, and Melissa, you can tell, is kind of into him.
Yeah, she likes the bad boy.
Yeah.
Bad boy Brian. She likes him. And then the next scene is Brian is in the gym.
Yeah.
By himself. Just, kind of pouting like bad boys do.
Yeah.
Emo bad boy. And all the volleyball net. There's just a bunch of volleyballs all over the gym. And he goes and he gets ready to serve it. And that's when Sean comes with his couple of his buddies, and I guess they're dressed up in their volleyball uniforms.
Purposefully, volleyball is the hot sport in
Right.
school. He's not the captain of the football team.
Right.
He's not doing the slam dunk shot. This is volleyball. Volleyball is the cool thing. It's the hot sport at this high school.
And Brian is awesome at volleyball. Brian just like serves
Boom.
it and spikes it, and Sean's like, whoa, yeah, well, I'm great too,
Yeah, this is my gym. Get out of here,
Right.
kid. And he sees he's outnumbered. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get out of here before I get my ass handed to me.
There's a lot of ball reference because he says, nobody touches my balls but me and my boys.
Yeah.
Because of the volleyballs. So there's a lot of ball references and a gay reference, obviously, with touching balls.
So the next scene, you got some of the kids over at Beverly Hills 210 had the Peach Pit. That was the cafe that everyone hung out with.
This is Pat's Pit.
Pat's Pit. It's ran by Pat, and then some of the girls come in. Melissa's with Sean and says, "Hey, you should have been here earlier." Sean finger banged some broad here just about 10, 20 minutes ago. But he says to Melissa, "You need to stay with him. You need to stay with us."
Yeah.
So instead of being this like wise old sage giving out this great advice, he's giving like shitty advice.
He's like, put up
pervert.
with it.
Yeah.
He's the volleyball captain and the coolest guy. And then one of her girlfriends pulls out a black dildo dressed up like a vibrator, and it's a big fat black dildo.
This girl is packing
All
fake
the
cocks, everything. And then when her friend Melissa's like, "I don't want to do it," she's like, "Well, I'm going to go fuck this thing in the bathroom
Right,
real quick."
exactly.
I mean, to me, I would love to watch a 7-minute pilot based on her just fucking that dildo.
Any of those dildos. So then Melissa and Brian, because Brian's at the pit too, and their eyes meet, and they walk over. She walks over to him, and he's sitting down, and they just say, "Hey, again."
And like, "Hey, Sean's having a party this weekend. There's going to be lots of bikinis, drinking, and fucking going on there. You got to go."
And that's the best place to be, at a party that has those three things going.
Oh my god!
And
So we cut to the party, right?
right, and Sean is making out with the stepmom.
Yeah.
And they're like right in front of Melissa. They're like,
Melissa just tolerates it. She's like faux mad about it. She's not. Doesn't care.
Right.
And then you see Muffy is walking around the party, closing in on the Teen Wolf.
Right.
And I think I failed to mention earlier that the Teen Wolf himself was like walking through the high school.
Right.
But it doesn't have to do with anything.
No, and also in this the party scene, the Teen Wolf is they're holding him upside down, and he's doing a cake stand.
Okay.
And so then here comes my favorite part. My man Andy Dick.
With the best name in the whole series too.
What was the name on there?
Kenny Bonerman.
Kenny Bonerman.
It says, but you can call me Kenny. Or something, right? Is that what it says?
And it's supposed to be like from Dazed and Confused.
Matthew McConaughey's character.
all right, guy.
You know what I like about high school girls? I keep getting older, but they stay the
Stay
same age.
And I don't know if this was a Andy Dick sober time or not. But
When is there a sober time for anything?
from day to day.
Yeah, there you go.
But I really liked this interaction, and I really liked the character a lot. It was, to me, I even circled best part.
Yeah, arguably so. I
he's-
enjoyed it as well.
And Andy Dick saying, you know what to do, you know what you got to do.
You got to YouTube.
You got to put that hoodie on.
Yeah. Kenny gives Brian a pep talk, and he like, while he's talking, he keeps spilling his drink everywhere, like obnoxiously. And then he's like, You got to put that hoodie on it. I bet my boner on it.
And he goes, and I don't lose boners.
Yeah, I don't lose boners. This is fantastic. You're right. Fuck H. John Benjamin. This is the best part. Brian then confronts Sean.
But puts up his hood.
Yeah, and then Sean immediately knocks Brian out.
Punches him. One punch just punches him out.
And then Muffy sees Lawson or something and thinks it's because he's dressed up kind of like Wolverine. He's got like rakes on his hands or something.
Yeah, he thought it was a costume party, so he's dressed up as Wolverine.
And Muffy's like, oh, that's the Teen Wolf right there.
Right, and then Ladder Girl jumps in front. She goes to put a bow in him, shoot him with a bow. The Ladder Girl jumps in front of him. And
saving his life. And they're out at the next scene is like he's at the ambulance with her and stuff, and she's like, I love you so much. I would take take this for you. Yeah. And he's just like, whatever. Yeah. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Great, thank you so much. I appreciate it. See ya. And then Brian leaves the party. And then he sees his brother, the brother who he thought died in the beginning, and he's wearing a cardigan. He's all dressed up and cleaned up. He's like, I'm a good boy now.
Yeah. He's I faked my own death. I don't have to be a bad boy anymore.
Yeah. And they're having this kind of heart to heart, and he's like, oh my God, I had no family. You died. My mom died. And now you're back. Oh my God, what a whirlwind of emotions. And then
bam!
Shot. Mason is shot to death.
By Melissa.
And for what reason? I don't know that we ever know the reason.
She just goes, hey.
Yeah, she says, hey, afterwards. And Brian's he's like, oh, hey.
So they're about to kiss. Mm-hmm. That first kiss scene. And it goes back to, I missed it, what?
Well, they're about ready to kiss. She just killed his brother. A simple hey completely brainwashes them to okay.
We should make out now.
And so they go to kiss, and they're a half inch away, and then Sean pulls up with his douche vehicle or something, and Melissa's like, all right, I'm going to go with this guy now.
Right, yeah. And it's always good. She always goes back to him. And then he, when she gets in the car, I think she goes to kiss him or something, and he's like, ooh, your breath stinks.
Yeah, they make out grossly, and after that, he's like, yeah, your breath stinks. Then the lawyer shows up with some bad news. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Brian is comforted by Lawson, and they have a weird, shitty montage of everything we just saw.
And then you see next week.
Yeah, the lawyer shows up. He's like, I got some bad news for you. And right when he's about ready to say it is when they cut, this is the cliffhanger.
Right. So there's coke, pregnancy, and Brian's mom comes back to life.
Yeah, a girl named Cooch is pregnant, loses the baby. And then Jamie Presley shows up. She was from the film version, not another teen movie. She was the cheerleader. She shows up, and she's Brian's mom, who we thought was dead. We see all this shit gearing us up for episode number 2. Episode 2 never happens, and that's because of the amount of turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
This essentially is not another teen movie in television form.
Right.
This is, hey, you guys heard of Scary Movie, right? Who parodies all the horror movies? You guys have heard of Epic Movie. You guys have heard of Date Movie. They parody action and romantic comedies. We're going to try to make this a weekly occurrence. We're going to do 10 to 13 to 22 episodes every year parodying the things that you know and have come to love with teen dramas.
Can't do it.
Didn't work.
Can't do it.
Why did that not work?
That's only that you're trying to take a movie format. Mm-hmm. Here's an isolated hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We can make fun of all these genres all in one script.
And at the end of the day, you just wipe your hands off
it's over.
And walk away.
You can't come up with... Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Thank you.
You can't come up with different storylines for the... It's just going to get old super, super quick.
Yeah. These kind of jokes are stale fast.
Put it in a movie just like all these other movies that were, that... If you're gonna do something with it.
And if you like that kind of comedy, which is I am not necessarily a fan of, but it's for some people, I suppose.
They make some money.
Yeah.
Not another Scary Movie and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Benjamin Buttons, stuff like that. They just make easy money on it.
What would you do to improve it?
Like I said, it's a movie format. That's my biggest problem with this whole thing. I know what I was getting into. Okay, I knew it was going to be one of those stupid, just bad jokes, parodying and everything.
Yep.
You got to put it in movie format. You cannot put it in TV format. Molly watched this with me. Her quote, this is her actual quote. You got over with. I pushed stop. She put, I wasted a bag of popcorn on that show.
Popcorn, as we all know, costs nearly nothing.
Super expensive.
And still she felt like it was a waste. That's not saying a whole lot.
Annie Dick was, to me, was the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
And who was do you know who the actress was that played the mom, Brian's mom? She was a famous person, but I don't remember.
That's what I was saying, Jamie Presley.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
If this had survived, this is the kind of show where anything goes. There are no limits. There are no rules. The craziest thing in the world can happen today, and tomorrow it's like nothing happened.
Yeah,
there are no consequences. No one learns anything.
People that are dead could come back to life.
There are no rules. So I would say, if this is the kind of show you're going to make, embrace it. Really go nuts with it. Make it crazy. Make it absurd. Try to add a little bit of intelligence. Try to add some good writing to it, but take advantage of the fact that there are no rules in a bizarre parody situation like this. That's what I would do.
I think they went all in on this.
I do too, but if it had survived, I would say keep that tempo.
You have to keep that tempo.
But that's a breakneck pace that they're doing, though. It really was a ton of shit in 22 minutes. They really bombarded you. I don't know. That's what I think anyway. Yeah. But who am I but a simple captain?
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
The final descent. Other people know about this. There's nothing special about you or I. We're just arbiters of information. Right? So other people have seen this. They know about it. IMDb knows about it. IMDb's got a score related to it. Captain, rest assured, what do you think the score is?
5.8.
Very close. 5.4.
Ooh.
Not even a half point away. Very good. That's close. That's from 124 ratings.
Wow, the last one we did had 10.
Yeah. Yep.
So this has been known, by a few.
People have seen this, for sure. Viewer reviews, not again. 1 out of 10 scars from Michael Radney from Perth, Australia. Hey, Dee Dee.
Hey, Dee Dee, go punch this guy in the fucking face.
This is rubbish. This is hard, horrible, and disturbingly dumb. One of the worst TV shows I think I've ever seen.
No, it's... These people... Here's what bugs me. A lot of times now, we watch these and we tell you about Turbulence.
Yeah.
But I think we're realistic. These people are just like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm like, it cannot be the worst thing you've ever seen.
You have to understand what they're trying to do and do they achieve it.
Yeah, are you just too fucking stupid to get it? Like, you have to be in the... Okay, I'm going to watch a cartoon. I have to be in the mindset of a cartoon. Oh, I'm going to watch a murder mystery. I got to be in that mindset. You can't just be like...
You can't watch The Hangover and expect Schindler's List, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. It has no point and no direction, falling flat on its face every time the writer thinks he or she has made something funny. To put it bluntly, it's pure feces. I think it's the first time I've ever heard feces in a viewer review.
Dee Dee, are you going to let this people represent
Pith? Nothing in this is even giggle-worthy, let alone laugh out loud, whilst wetting yourself, rolling on the ground, blah, blah, blah. Avoid like the plague. If you touch it, it might infect you, making you dumb, and sending your IQ plummeting below 1. Luckily for me, I found a cure. Any other TV show, even watching paint dry, is funnier than this. This. I'll let you put any word there.
This is just a kid that's in debate club.
This is a kid jacking off in his
getting
own voice.
off on himself.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And his cum goes out reverse because he's in Australia.
Is that right? So does that mean it comes out of his butt, or he collects cum from outside of himself?
Well, it usually swooshes down and out.
Correct.
This way, it's swooshing up and out.
Gotcha.
Over the head of the penis, the urethra.
Pretty decent spoof that is okay for what it is. 6 out of 10 scars from Tomith from Berlin, Germany. I know someone in Germany.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do. I like that one was not near as bad. It's understandable.
Not Another High School Show is a 22-minute live-action short from 2007, so this one has its 10th anniversary this year, so a fairly new review. It was written by Mike Bender, the man who's mostly known for Not Another Teen Movie, and you will see the resemblance between this short film here and that one there. It is a spoof, yes, and several shows about teenage life, especially at school, are taken here and made fun of in a fairly harmless way. This also includes Buffy, for example, apart from the more general stuff like Dawson's Creek. I personally enjoyed the watch, and while not every joke was a winner, there was enough there that was relatively funny. It was a fun watch. Of course, it is very difficult to say if it had worked as a show because at some point you just need to get in individual creativity and not just references about stuff made by others. but there is no need for seeing these 22 minutes from that perspective, as they were not picked up for a whole season. So eventually, it is what it is, and I liked what I saw. It is smart and even creative, which is certainly quite an achievement. Thumbs up. That is a well thought out and articulate approach.
Yes, I like that one. It's realistic.
Classic Germans. They make the best engineered cars on the planet. You bet they do. And apparently they make the best engineered reviews as well.
I'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
That's it. We landed the plane.
Safely.
We've done everything, right? We bantered. Remember that? Remember at the beginning of the show when we bantered?
Oh, yeah. I remember you getting it up.
You did everything in the middle.
And you brought it back down.
We talked about fan feedback, right? We gave you a summary of the pilot.
We even had late entry fan feedback.
Yeah, mid-show feedback. Doesn't happen a lot. We did a promo for Drunken Lullabies. Great podcast.
Yeah.
Well, we gave you the interesting facts. We put you back in the mindset of that time period.
We did everything you need to have done.
This is what we did. We saw you standing there on the corner alone. We took an ice pick. We removed your eyes. We grabbed you by the hand, and we led you every step of the way.
I thought you were going to fuck the eye sockets. I thought.
I'm not. I know that there were videos out there. I think you talked about it last week with the snuff films. I'm not into that, Blake.
Okay.
All right? But I will take our viewers by their hand and give them everything they need to know. But at the end of the day, what they're looking for is a number, something that they can quantify and say, this pilot equals this.
Give them something to believe in. We're going to give you our ratings. And our ratings go off of a scale of the classic, amazing television show Wings. 1 to a 7.
Yeah.
1 being the worst, 7 being the best. 1 is, these are all, each level is a character from
Your
Wings.
main character from Wings, yeah.
1, Roy Biggins. The worst of the worst.
Big, fat, ugly, stinky guy, always trying to get one over on the Hackett boys.
Always. And goes all the way up to number 7.
Yeah.
Our good buddy, Brian Hackett.
You bet.
The creme de la creme.
Oof.
Let's go through all. Can we go through all the characters?
Number
real quick?
1, Roy Biggins. No one wants that.
Right.
I don't even want a number 2, a Faye Cochran. She's the lady behind the counter
She's so
making all
cute,
the
though.
reservations. Adorable old lady. R.I.P. Number 3, Tony Shalhoub is Antonio Scarpacci, the Italian cab driver that never drove in a cab in his life and just ate club sandwiches at the cafe counter. Number 4, my personal favorite, love Joe Hackett. Even keeled.
You fought for Joe Hackett to be number 7.
I fought, and I failed. Number 5, Bud Bronsky, friend of the show, Brian Haley. Right? He said, "Hey, I got a bunch of information about Puchinski. Read it," and we did that.
Great information.
Number 6, Helen Chappell. Gorgeous. Oh, my God. Something was going on in the 90s. I was milk boning out as a boy. Something about when she would spread her legs open and put that cello in between there. Oh, God. Number 7, Brian Hackett.
Top notch. We haven't had a 7 in a long time.
I walk down the street. I go to the corner store. I pick up a Webster's Merriam dictionary. I open up to the word cool, and there he is.
Right.
There's Brian Hackett right there. The epitome of awesomeness.
It's this, and there's bumps that we often do, and you had mentioned that there was going to be a bump, so I'm going to go with we also have Molly's rating, but let's go with yours.
Mine first.
Yours first because
Okay.
you have the bump.
I'm giving it a bump.
A skinny white girl bump. Is that what it was?
Yeah. I feel like I've been very even keeled lately.
Yeah. 4 or 5 range.
And I'm going to have to go 4 again. To me,
Okay.
this is a 3. It's not great. I can't imagine it keeping a pace like this. But you throw a skinny broad with, fair to midland boobs and her underpants flopping around in front of me.
And pale.
I love them. I gotta give it a pale small boob bump. This is fantastic. I love that every second. I tell you what, I slowed it down to 1/4 speed at that point. I took care of business, if you know what I'm saying. High five myself. And for that, you're getting a bump to number 4. That's your Joe Hackett rather. Number 4 is where I stand. I'm curious, where does Molly stand?
Molly stands at a 2. She just thought it was, and she said the same thing as I did. It's like, this couldn't be a TV show. It could never be a TV show.
Yeah.
She gave it a 2. She said she laughed a couple times.
Yeah.
She maybe isn't as big an Andy Dick fan as I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she's going to give it a 2, which is a Faye Cochran.
We always appreciate.
We love a Faye.
We love a Faye. I have a love a Faye. Captain Philip Rescher, I now turn to you. How do you rate Not Another High School Show?
I did not mention any bumps during this.
That's true.
I will give
A dick bump?
no. I will give a pilot's pin, the wings. I'll give a wings pin
Sure.
to all the hot bods because there was a lot of hot bods.
I love hot bods.
But I can't give it a bump.
Okay.
All right.
So just an honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Thank you. I'm going to give it a 4. I laughed. I enjoyed Andy Dick. I got it for what it was. I know that it would never be a television series, but I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 4.
And with that, we close the book on Not Another High School Show, and we'll never, ever mention it again.
Hey.
But join us next time, won't you, hey? When we discuss the pilot episode of Pride of the X-Men. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Just as teenage mutant Kitty Pryde is welcomed to the X-Men, the team of mutant heroes are called into battle to prevent Magneto and his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants from crashing a comet into the Earth. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or download the app for Daily Motion and check out all of the commotion.
Nice. There's a beta going on with Daily Motion. The app on the TV, it didn't work something's wrong with it. It's not working.
Really?
Right.
Sometimes I mirror for what's on my phone to my TV.
But I tried to do that, and I wasn't able to do that recently.
Okay, I have an Apple TV, and I have a Daily Motion app on my Apple TV.
I have the Daily Motion app on my Roku.
Okay.
And it just seems really weird. Like I searched, I don't know. So
it's out there. You can find this. We don't need to hold our hands, or like I said, just click on a classical link.
We're doing the work for you. Just enjoy
Don't be a bum.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch. I am not a bitch. I want you to contact us. I'm talking directly to you, listener. Contact me, right? How do we do it?
There's multiple ways. Let's start off with top tier, the best tier. The easiest place to go is CouchPilotspodcast.com.
Yeah.
There you can see all of the episodes. You can go by date, or you can search words. And
everything you need is there.
All the links to our social medias are there. You can email us there. That's the place you need to go. CouchPilotspodcast.com.
Just drive it home. CouchPilotPodcast.com. Go there. Any way to contact us. All the popular social media websites, we're all there. Just click a button. That's all you got to do.
And one of our favorite ways to get a hold of us is that sweet, sweet dial-in number.
910-PILOTS-1. That's 910-745-6871. Call us any time of the day. Just like Russ never sleep. Remember when Neil Young once said that? He said Russ never sleeps. Well, the phone lines never sleep. You can call us whenever you want. Leave a message.
Any time of the day.
Anytime, that's right. I'm so glad you've embraced that. We said CouchPilotspodcast.com. We'll take it a level even higher and say FCFnetwork.com.
For all the other shows. Yeah, definitely.
That's our home. You can find all the shows.
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
You can see a description of all the different shows. You can see the ones that are active and the ones that still have back catalogs. And you can read the descriptions and all the links to those social medias and Apple Podcasts.
Without a doubt. Anything else you'd like to say to our frequent flyers today, Blake, before we go?
No, I do want to give you a compliment.
Oh, thank you. All right. And this pilot may have... I'm sorry.
No, the compliment I want to give you is that I think... You picked a couple of interesting ones, but what I liked most about them is they were only the half-hour ones. They've been a lot easier to take in. I think it helped me focus.
Okay. Well,
since I turned in my tribe card a couple weeks ago, I've been very nervous every time I look at those classically blue links. Not because they're unsafe, but because of length.
Well, I want to tell you a quick something. There are some from the 70s, some from the 80s, and some from the 90s that are long. Mm-hmm. And eventually we're going to have to knock on their door. Okay?
Come on, knock on our door.
Come on, knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his, three's company too.
And with that, this pilot may have been rough, But it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Love you!
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.